What's up, guys? How's it going today? So today I wanted to talk about the auto industry and where we're headed over the next 5 to 10 years. Um, I've been in the auto industry for about 10 years now, working at various manufacturers, so Aston Martin, Lamborghini, Ferrari, all on the sales side, not for corporate, but and I've seen some changes even in my 10 years of being in the industry. But yeah, it's a pretty fascinating shift that we have going on in terms of kind of multiple segments of the market. So in terms of the business model, so in terms of the distribution and those sorts of things, the manufacturers are going to start, I think, going direct to consumer now more than they were before. So like Tesla has kind of proved out that model. I know when I worked at Ferrari, they were asking us to put every single name into the CRM. The Modus was what it was called, because I think eventually what they were trying to do was eliminate dealers, right? So the need for dealers, and they just go direct to consumer. You order everything online. The showrooms become like a you have product specialists in there. The CI that they had proposed and they showed to all these sales guys in a sales training was looked like a Capital One cafe. So it wasn't like a car room or a car showroom that we were used to, right? Where there's cars in it, there's sales guys. You come in and there's something for you to see. They proposed more of like kind of what Tesla has, right? If you ever go to a Tesla showroom, you have cars on the showroom floor, right? And you walk in and you look at the car. You can't take that car home, right? But you go over to the configurator and you spec out your car. So I'm thinking that's kind of like what Ferrari is planning for the future. They're going to get a lot of pushback from the dealers. The dealer principals are not a fan of that because it kind of cuts into the used car market. So a lot of the money to be made for dealerships, I mean, aside from service is probably their number one money maker, but the used cars. I mean, the used cars, especially in the Ferrari world, is a big way that the dealer makes money, right? The new cars, you get a certain amount, and you have an allocation, and they come in, and you sell them, and there's not much you can really do. You get about the same every single year. So really, where a lot of these dealerships can make a lot more money is in the used cars. So if you start taking that away from them, dealers are going to start getting pretty angry at the manufacturers. So it's pretty interesting to see in terms of where these showrooms are going to go and like what the manufacturers are going to do. I mean, I could see someone like VW or like VW Group, which basically owns Audi, Lamborghini, Bugatti, all of those manufacturers. They have the capital to spend on something like this. So I could see them kind of shifting over to that as well. I should actually ask my buddies at Lamborghini if they've heard anything about or hints of them going to direct to consumer as well. So it's pretty interesting to see on the sales side, and that's part of the reason that Pocket we kind of built, is because it's a way for brokers to kind of manage their inventory, their customers, all of those things, basically provide all the tools for a broker to run their own business. And I think if they do go direct to consumer, you're going to start seeing a need for brokers a lot more, right? Like if you don't have if the customer doesn't have the relationship with the manufacturer, right? You usually had a sales guy that would sell you a car, and you'd have that connection, right? That's what I was for a lot of these dealers, right? As I was the personal connection for the brand, right? People would go, Phil, he works at Ferrari. Okay, that's my Ferrari guy, right? And I've a lot of these guys, I'm lifetime friends with them now, right? Because it's a human connection. But if you remove that aspect of it, who are you going to be connected to, right? So I think there's going to be a lot of brokers out there that kind of move into this space, and a lot of sales guys that were in the auto industry are going to shift over to brokers and run their own businesses, right? So that's, where we kind of see the industry heading. So that's why, Pocket is, I think, in the right position properly in the space. So if you want to ever check it out, go to pocketlistautos.com. So my buddy Jeremy and I built Pocket, and it's just a way to manage your business as a broker. So so go check it out. Let me know what you think. So that's kind of what I want to talk about on the sales side in terms of the dealership and how things are going to shift over the next 5 to 10 years. But I also see in terms of just technology, and a lot of you probably already know this, but we're starting to see change in technology. So like most cars are now either hybrid or electric, right? Or turbocharged, right? So you see very, very few ICE cars, internal combustion engines, right? And that was like, that's why I think, long term, if you're looking to invest in cars, buy naturally aspirated cars, right? That's where I think the money is going to be is in naturally aspirated vehicles, like big V12s and stuff like that. You're not going to see them anymore. So like as an example, like the Huracan replacement, right? I am blanking on the name of it right now, but anyways, the Huracan replacement. I used to sell Huracans, that's why I know the car. So basically, that is going to be a hybrid, right? And so you were just starting to see more batteries with engines, right? Ferrari's SF90, right? A battery plus an engine. I mean, the LaFerrari kind of started it, but now we're starting to see it more and more. You have the 750S in McLaren, or the Artura, or I don't know, all the different brands. I mean, it's an interesting shift that's going to happen. So, in terms of investments, like I said, get the naturally aspirated cars. Those are going to go up in value because you're starting to see them disappear more and more. And then I even think you're going to start seeing fully electric cars, right? Like the Rolls-Royce Spectre, that's a fully electric car, which is interesting, in terms of resale value. I have mixed emotions on that because the electric cars have really kind of taken a beating in terms of resale. So, it has nothing to do with whether they're a good car or not, but like, for me, the charging infrastructure is not there yet, right? So, you had kind of a push from the government pushing on the manufacturers to go all electric. I can't remember. Mercedes, I think, said by 2035 they would be full electric, every single car, right? And so they made this big statement, and the government was kind of pushing them in that direction. And then you started to see a lot of electric cars for manufacturers sitting on the lot, brand new cars, unsold, sitting on the lot. So what that does is that then pushes down the values of used cars, and you see cars like a Mercedes EQS. I mean, those were, I remember they were selling like over sticker, and now you're looking at them. Anybody that leased them or did a finance on them, they're $80,000-$90,000 upside down. Right, they're worth maybe $30,000-$40,000, and they owe like over $100,000. So, financially, in terms of resale, they're really getting pummeled. So, I don't know. I don't know if that. I mean, I know Mercedes pushed back their estimate of going full electric. So I think other manufacturers might be doing the same thing. And like I will say, until they get the charging infrastructure up, you're not gonna see average everyday people that, let's just say they don't have a garage. You're not going to see them like parking on the streets with an electric car, right? Like, because if you can't just go pull into like a gas station in the same way that you would go to get gas, if you can't charge that fast, you're not and have them on every corner, you're not going to see people having these electric cars, right? Tesla is like pushing tons of cars out there, but they're getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. I mean, the Model Y and the Model 3 are just getting so inexpensive, and they still can't sell them. So I think it's going to be kind of a big issue until they really put in some money into getting the infrastructure up there, right? In terms of more charging stations, in terms of the batteries being able to charge faster, those sorts of things. Otherwise, it's just not. It doesn't make sense for someone to buy an electric car, and then every time they need to fill up, they go and they sit at a charging station that's like 15 miles away, and then sit for 45 minutes to charge their car. That you're just not going to see people do that. That's just way too inconvenient. And so, I mean, most people are just going to go get a gas car, right? A lot of these gas cars are now very, very fuel efficient, right? So you got some sort of like, some of them are, turbocharged engines. Almost everything's turbocharged now. Smaller engines, way more fuel efficient. So I think most people are just going to go buy a gas car and not get an electric. So it's interesting to see how the EVs kind of pan out, how fast it'll be. I mean, I've had a Tesla. I've had multiple Teslas. I love them. They're great cars, but unless you have a charging station in your house, like a fast plug, it just doesn't make sense. I wouldn't deal with it. As much as I love the concept of an electric car, I love the way the app works and how you can manage your car and heat your car up, and it's all run through an app. It's a really great experience. But if not, I just wouldn't buy one. If I didn't have a garage where I had the charging station, I wouldn't deal with it. It's not worth it. So it's fascinating to see where we'll go in terms of the next 5 to 10 years. I do think you're going to see more electric cars, and I really hope they get the charging infrastructure kind of built up so that charging batteries is faster and those sorts of things. So but anyways, I just kind of wanted to come on and talk about the next 5 to 10 years. I'm hoping people are enjoying this and tuning in. And if you're an auto broker in the industry, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. Reach out to Pocket. You go to pocketlessautos.com. Send us a message. But we're really trying to kind of open up the dialogue within the car world and connecting with other brokers and providing data, building a business for you guys. So anyways, but thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, later, guys.